Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve.
Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into our time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
An episode of the syndicated show Murder at Midnight. This episode, entitled Trigger Man, was originally broadcast April 4th, 1947.
Murder at Midnight.
So you're dropping a chicken, huh? Hey, guys.
Yeah,
What do you know? Chicken's turning out to be a rooster all of a sudden. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle.
In case anybody here is interested, from here on in, the name is just plain Charlie Nix.
Midnight, the witching hour when the night is darkest, our fears the strongest, and our strength at its lowest ebb. Midnight, when the graves gape open and death strikes. How? You'll learn the answer in just a minute in Trigger Man.
And now, Murder at Midnight. Tales of mystery and terror by radio's foremost mystery writers. Our story, written by Max Ehrlich, is different from any of the other tales you have heard in this program. Its mystery is not that of the supernatural, but of the unknown quantities in the human soul. And so, because it has suspense and complete credibility, we give you Trigger Man.
Was that the door? No. No, not yet. Not that it matters. You can't get very far with a slug in your guts. But I can sit here. And when I come through that door, I'll show him what Chicken Charlie Nix can do with a gun. Sure. Maybe it'll be for the last time. But what can I lose now? It's funny how it all comes back to you in the end. Just a year and a half ago that it all started. But I remember it like it was yesterday. I was standing back in the doorway waiting for some sucker to come along. It was down at the waterfront and it was plenty dark. I stood there, the rod cold in my hand, waiting. Finally, I heard footsteps. A man and a woman. I waited until they were almost opposite the doorway, and then... Hey, buddy. Got a match?
Why, yes, I think so.
Never mind. Get your dukes up.
Tell him he's got a gun.
Oh, stick up, huh?
Aren't you smart, sucker? Come on, reach. Get those hands up before I let you have it. Yeah. It's better. Okay, lady, let's begin with you.
Oh, Tom,
Hand over that purse.
Better do as he says, Ann.
All right, Tom.
Thanks, lady. Thanks very much. Okay, buddy, let's have your wallet. I said come across with your wallet.
Not tonight, chicken.
What do you mean? Hey, wait a minute. How come you know my name?
It's my job to know it. And your face, too. The name's Riley. From headquarters.
Tom Riley. Plainclothes.
Yeah.
Keep up those hands. Keep them up or I'll drill you.
I know you won't, chicken.
Tom.
Not for a lot more than I've got in my wallet.
Tom, what are you doing? He'll kill you.
I don't think he will. Will you, chicken?
Keep away from me, Flatfoot. Don't come a step nearer, you hear? Another step and I'll splatter you all over the sidewalk.
You haven't got the nerve, chicken. You know it and I know it. Now, drop that gun.
Keep away, do you hear? I ain't afraid to shoot. I'll tell you, I'll let you have it.
Then what are you waiting for?
Well,
That was for the gun, chicken, and this is for you.
No.
Hold me up, will you yellow belly rat? Pull a gun on me, will you?
Oh, Tom.
It's okay, Ann. It's all over.
You could have been killed. Walking straight into a hold-up man and knocking the gun out of his hand.
Well, I knew he wouldn't shoot, Ann.
You knew? But how?
His name is Charlie Nix. Chicken Charlie. Oh, he carries a gun, yeah, but he's not a gunman. Because he's never used it and he never will. Just plain chicken-hearted. Yellow. That's why they call him Chicken.
Still, you took an awful chance, Tom. There's always the first time.
Not for Chicken Charlie. Now then, you see if you can find a phone, honey, and call headquarters
Okay.
while I keep an eye on this yellow skunk here.
Yeah, that's the way it was. I just didn't have the nerve to put the blast on anyone. Sometimes in my room, I'd put my gun on the table and just look at it. I'd keep thinking, if I only had the nerve, I'd be one of Angelo Donnelly's triggermen instead of his errand boy. The rest of the mob would respect me instead of slapping me around and calling me Chicken. That's what got me more than anything else, the way they laughed and called me Chicken. It wasn't that I didn't try. That time I held up Riley, I was going to let him have it. I wanted to, but I don't know, at the last minute I got all cold inside. My fingers got stiff and numb. And it cost me a year in the pen. The day after I got out, I was sitting in the Boulevard Cafe having myself a beer when in walked the boss, Angie Donnelly.
It's great having you back, Chicken.
Thanks, Angie. Thanks.
By the way, I saw an old pal of yours the other day.
Yeah? Who?
Tom Riley.
Riley, huh?
Yeah, it's too bad you didn't knock him off that night, Chicken.
Yeah. But one of these days, Angie, I'm going to meet him, and then
Sure, kid, I know how you feel. After all, when a guy takes your gun away, it makes you look like a chump.
Yeah, he made me look like a chump, all right. But I'm different now, Angie. That year in a clink, well, I got a different kind of nerve now. Wait and see.
Sure,
I'm gonna...
Sure, but take it easy, kid. There's plenty of time, plenty. You just got out of stir, and you got yourself to worry about.
What do you mean, Angie? I did my time, didn't I? I'm in the clear?
Sure, Chicken, sure. But if you ask me, the pen didn't do you any good. You look kind of all in. You don't feel so good, do you?
What makes you say that, Angie?
Oh, I don't know. Your face ain't got any color and you're breathing hard all the time.
Well, I feel okay.
Sure. I ain't saying anything's wrong with you, Chicken. But you never can tell until a good doc checks you over, huh?
Yeah, maybe you're right, Angie. Maybe I ought to see a doctor, huh?
Now you're talking sense, kid. Tell you what I'll do. I'll take you to my own doctor, Dr. Leonard. He's a big specialist, and he'll give you the once-over right.
Yeah, but he probably comes high, and
Forget it, Chicken, forget it. I'll take care of it. Won't cost you a dime.
Hey, that's pretty white of me, Angie.
Think nothing of it, kid. After all, you're one of my boys, ain't you?
Yeah. Yeah, I am.
Well, if there's one thing Angie Donnelly does, it's to take care of his boys.
A couple of days later, Angie Donnelly set up an appointment for me with this Dr. Leonard. I went to his office, and he gave me a real checkup from soup to nuts. And when he got through, I didn't like the look on his face.
Sit down, Mr. Nix, and let's talk.
Doc, what's the matter? Did you find something wrong?
Care for a cigarette?
Never mind the stalling, Doc. Give it to me straight. Is it good or bad?
I'm sorry, but it's bad.
You mean my chest?
It isn't your chest. It's your heart.
My heart? What about it?
Now, you've got a severe aneurysm there.
A what? What's that mean?
It means that you've got a serious weakness of the heart muscle wall.
Yeah, but how serious?
I'm sorry, Mr. Nix, but you haven't got more than 6 months to live.
6 months. Yeah, that's what he said. 6 months to live. For a while I didn't get it. You don't get things like that right away. And then 6 months, Angie. He gave me 6 months to live. Someday I'll be just walking along and maybe sleeping, and then it'll come.
It's tough, Chicken. Plenty tough. Yeah. Know how you feel.
Nobody knows how I feel. Except maybe a guy in a death house. Yeah. That's what it's like. Like knowing when you're going to burn, waiting for it.
Take it easy, chicken. Here, have another drink, huh?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Andy. You're okay.
Maybe the doc was wrong. There's always a chance.
No, Angie. Check me twice just to make sure. There ain't a thing I can do, not a thing except wait for it. Just sit around and wait to croak.
Listen, kid. You've got 6 months to live. Okay. You know what I'd do if I had 6 months to live?
What? What would you do?
I'd live.
Huh?
Yeah, I'd spend all my time living. Champagne, dames, I'd have them all. I'd do all the things I ever wanted to do, but didn't have the nerve to do before. You see what I mean, kid? I'd live a lifetime in 6 months.
Sure, but that takes dough.
You can get the dough?
How?
From me.
Huh?
Look, chicken. You always wanted to be a trigger man, didn't you?
Yeah.
Well, I'm hiring you right here and now. At $500 a week.
500? But, Angie, you know I ain't got the nerve.
Sure you have, but it's different now. You don't have to be afraid of a thing. Not a thing. Or you can go around blasting guys like clay pigeons if you want to.
But suppose the cops nail me.
What do you care? Suppose they send you to the death house. You got nothing to lose anyway, have you? Your heart's bad, ain't it? You've only got a little while anyway, either way.
That's right, Angie. That's right. What can I lose? Denelli was right. This was my chance. I packed a new gat and started to look for Riley. Riley, the dick who'd set me up. Yeah, he was going to be number one.
He'll be coming along here any minute, kid.
Yeah.
This is it, chicken. There's Riley. There he is. No, chicken, not yet. Wait till he comes closer.
Look, Angie,
It's the first one that comes hardest, kid. The rest are easy. Look at him, pal. He knows from nothing. Take your beat on him. You can't miss. Okay, chicken, go ahead. Let him have it. Go ahead. Blast him. You did it.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Flat on the sidewalk, colder than yesterday's hash. You did it, Charlie.
Angie, You just called me Charlie.
Sure, kid, why not? You're not chicken anymore. Now, maybe we better get out of here.
A car roars away up the street, leaving the body lying there in a pool of blood as the clock strikes 12 for
Murder at midnight.
April 4th, 1947, Murder at Midnight on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
No offense, but are you a little fat when you look in the mirror? How would you like to learn the secrets to lose 3 to 5 pounds a week easily without joining the gym or going through any crazy diets? It's called Body Sculpt by Med Diet. For the last 2 decades, we've been helping people just like you that have pounds they want to shed. We've helped millions of people lose thousands and thousands of pounds over the years. And now it's your turn. Learn the secrets of how to lose weight with one simple phone call. You'll see an amazing difference in a matter of days. Don't believe us? We'll offer you a money-back guarantee. If you're ready to start losing weight right now, call right now to learn more about your risk-free order to Body Sculpt.
Call for your risk-free offer. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. 800-738-5332. That's 800-738-5332.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, more of Murder at Midnight, Trigger Man from April 4th, 1947.
And now, back to Murder at Midnight, to the story of Trigger Man.
Where are they anyway? Getting kind of anxious to see them. Even with a slug in my gut, I'll be able to give them quite a reception. Funny how a guy can change. How different it's all been since I put the blast on Riley. That was my first and the toughest one. After that, it was easy. There were plenty of guys in Angie Dinelli's way, and I aimed to please. Whenever I watch one of them fold up with that funny expression on his face, why, it kind of helped. It helped me to forget how it was with me. It was like a champagne drunk. But then the hangover had come, and I'd remember that I had less than 6 months to live myself. Yeah, I was a different guy, all right. Take what happened a couple of days after I got Riley. We was having a meeting up at the Hideaway on a new job when a character named Bummy Devine started shooting his mouth off.
Hey, Chicken. Still carrying around that pop gun of yours?
What did you call me?
Chicken. Ain't that your name?
The name is Charlie. Charlie Nix.
Hey, guys. Yeah? What do you know? Chicken's turning out to be a rooster all of a sudden. Cock-a-doodle-doo. Cock-a-doodle...
In case anybody else here is interested, the name from here in is just plain Charlie Nix. They didn't laugh after that. No one did again, ever. I was it. I took chances where no other trigger man would. Why not? What'd I have to lose? In a few months, I'd be through anyway. What was the difference? Meanwhile, I lived. I painted the town red, bought myself tailored suits, hit the clubs every night, the gambling joints. And the dames, why, I had to fight them off. You can do a lot with $500 a week. Sure, I was hot, plenty hot. The cops couldn't figure out at the beginning who was doing all the fancy gun work, but they were getting warm, and they were getting close. I had to watch myself. And then one night, we were knocking off a fur warehouse. I was in a lookout car out front when suddenly...
Hey, Charlie, a prowl car.
Yeah, come on, Mike. Let's get out of here.
Hey, they're shooting at us. Tommy guns. Hang on, Charlie.
Here they come right after us. Hold it steady, Mike. I'm going to try to nail a tire.
Oh! Hey, Charlie. Charlie, what's the matter?
I'm hit. Keep going, Mike. Got a ditch in my... When I opened my eyes, there was a smell of chloroform, and the doctor was just putting away some instruments. Mike was there, too, with a gat in his hand, making sure that the doc would cooperate.
Hello, Charlie. How do you feel?
I don't know. What happened?
The doc here just dug a slug out of your chest.
Oh. How am I doing, Doc?
You'll be all right. Lucky you've got a good heart. Otherwise, you'd never have made it.
What? Did you say my heart was good?
That's right.
But I don't get it. I thought I had a bad ticker. They told me I didn't have more than a few months to live.
But that heart, my friend, you can live to be 100. That is, if the police don't interfere.
I spent 3 weeks laid up after that, in bed. And every day the boss would send me flowers, comic books, and all kinds of stuff. A real thoughtful guy, Angie. But I was thoughtful, too. There were some things I had to add up for myself. I had to find out whether I was living on borrowed time or not. As soon as I could walk, I made a beeline for Angie Donnelly's specialist, Doc Leonard. But I found out right away that Doc Leonard didn't live there anymore. A dentist was in the office instead. Then I looked up the superintendent.
Yes, I'm in charge here. What can I do for you? If it's about...
It isn't. I'm looking for Dr. Leonard.
Dr. Leonard? Oh, the one that was in the dentist's office before.
That's right. You know where he went?
No, he didn't leave any forwarding address. It's a funny thing about him.
Yeah? What?
Why, he paid us a month's rent in advance and moved in, equipment and everything. But he only stayed 2 days. Moved out at night. No notice, nothing. Just came and went.
I see.
Never could figure it out. That's the way it was. Sorry, I couldn't be of more help, mister.
That's okay. You've told me enough. All I want to know. So that was it. I had the answer. I went home, took my old gun out of the drawer, slipped it into my shoulder holster. It felt good there. Just like old times. I was just putting on my hat and coat when the phone rang. Hello.
Hello, Charlie. How do you feel?
Fine, Angie, fine. Funny thing you calling up just now.
Yeah, why?
I was just thinking of you. Where are you now?
I'm over at my apartment. Listen, kid, do you feel well enough to do a little job for me tonight?
I feel fine.
That's swell. Drop over to my place right away.
Okay, I'll be right over. And, Angie.
Yeah?
Thanks for everything. The flowers and stuff.
Forget it, kid. What's a pal for, anyway?
Funny how a guy acts sometimes. I remember in the cab on the way over, I was like ice. Cold inside and out. I should have been excited, but I wasn't. I came up to Angie's apartment and knocked on the door.
Yeah, who is it?
Me, Charlie.
Oh, okay. Come on in, Charlie.
Yeah, thanks.
Yeah, you're up and around, huh, kid? It's great.
Yep, not that it makes much difference. You see, Angie, my 6 months is supposed to be up tomorrow.
Is that right?
Yeah, that's right. You know something, Angie? I feel fine. And yet, I'm supposed to croak.
Well, it's just like I said, kid. Maybe Doc Leonard was wrong.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Maybe he was wrong. Made a mistake.
Sure.
So, this afternoon, I went up to see him.
You did, huh?
Yeah.
The conclusion of Murder at Midnight, Trigger Man, from April 4th, 1947, comes up following this break for your favorite station on Classic Radio Theater.
Let's see, if something costs less, but people are happier with it, that sounds like something to look into, and that's MediShare. Maybe you've heard switching to MediShare to pay for healthcare can save the typical family $500 a month. And that's huge, but it's also true that people are way more satisfied after making the switch, too. The customer satisfaction rate for MediShare is double that of the typical health insurance plan. Double. MediShare works. It's been around for more than a quarter century, and members have shared more than $3 billion of each other's bills. People love having telehealth and a huge nationwide PPO network. So, yeah, you can save a ton and like it better. Imagine being happy with how you're taking care of your health care. So if you're self-employed or part of the gig economy, or you just want a plan you're happy with, you can call right now and get a price within 2 minutes. A very, very smart use of 2 minutes. Here's the number you need. 833-34-BIBLE. That's 833-34-BIBLE. 833-34-BIBLE.
Classic Radio Theater friends, I would encourage you to go to mypillow.com/radio specials to check out everything available at the MyPillow website. Honestly, Mike Lindell's products have given me some of the best sleep in my life, and he's having a flash sale on many of his most popular products, including the original MyPillow, the Giza Dreams bed sheets, the mattress toppers, and my personal favorite, the My Slippers, right under my desk here at work at half off, and also the Roll and Go pillows at $9.99. I take them with me everywhere I travel, and they're right next to my recliner at home. Put them under my head, and I get a great nap. Go to mypillow.com/radio specials. That's mypillow.com/radio specials. Use my promo code USA, and with every order, you'll get a copy of Mike's soft cover book. That's mypillow.com/radio specials. Promo code USA, or call 1-800-951-8175. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the conclusion of Murder at Midnight, The Trigger Man, April 4th, 1947.
And you know what, Angie? He doesn't live there anymore.
No.
In fact, he only set up practice there a couple of days. Kind of set me to wondering.
Uh-huh. Wondering, what?
Whether this Doc Leonard wasn't a doctor after all, but just a phony.
I don't get it. Why should he be?
Suppose you tell me, Angie.
I don't know what you mean.
No? And suppose I tell you, Angie. This Doc Leonard was your boy. Between you framed me with this bad heart gag. You needed a gunster who could take chances, and I was your pigeon.
Wait a minute, Charlie, I've something.
It was easy, wasn't it, Danelli? Talking a chump like me into it. When I thought I only had 6 months to go. You knew I wouldn't be afraid anymore. Sure. What could I lose? And so you got me to do your dirty work for you while you were somewhere else with an airtight alibi. And when the heat was turned on, You knew it'd be on me.
You're wrong, kid. You see, you were supposed to live 6 months, and that's all you're going to live.
Don't do any reaching, Angie. Don't! You taught me how to use a gun, Angie. You should have just let me stay. Chicken Charlie Nix. Yeah, he got me in the belly with his first one. But I got him before he could repeat. There he is, lying on his own rug, soaking in his blood. And as for me, well, there ain't much I can do but wait. Somebody must have heard the shots, called the cops. Funny how I feel now, how different it is. When you think of it, if I'd stayed Chicken Charlie, I wouldn't be here now with a slug in my guts. Like the doc said, I could have lived to be maybe 100.
Well, if it ain't old Chicken Charlie.
Hello, copper. What did you call me?
Why, we've been looking all over for you, Chicken, but it looks like somebody saved the state some dough.
Not yet. I've still got enough stuff to... Stay where you are. Don't come any closer, do you hear?
No? Why not, Chicken?
Because I'm a killer, that's why. Because I got nothing to live for anyway. Keep away from me, do you hear? Keep away or...
Or what? Give me that rod.
Oh, stop, you can't.
Sure I can, punk. Once a chicken, always a chicken.
His eyes wide and incredulous, the hunched figure slips from the deep armchair, falls to the floor, next to the body of the man he killed. And somewhere in the distance, a clock in a church steeple starts chiming for...
Murder at midnight.
Remember to be with us again when death is our unseen guest, and the clocks strike 12 for...
Murder at midnight.
The part of Chicken Charlie Nix was played by Bill Quinn. With music by Charles Paul, Murder at Midnight is directed by Anton M. Leader.
April 4th, 1947, Murder at Midnight on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox.
Are you in bad pain? You know what I mean. Your knees hurt. Your shoulder hurts. Your elbow and back are constantly killing you. And I'm sure you've tried every pain pill or cream available at the drugstore. Am I right? Well, here's something you haven't tried. Pain Magic. Pain Magic is not available at any drugstore. The only place you can get it is by calling the special toll-free number I'm about to give you. And to make things even better, call right now and find out about our buy one, get one free offer. We're so confident it'll work for you that we offer a free bottle with your purchase. No prescription required. Call now to learn how you can get Pain Magic and get rid of your pain. Remember, your results may vary. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. 800-492-8164. That's 800-492-8164.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, the fourth part of the five-part Easter special, The Living God. This originally broadcast April 4th, 1942.
The Living God. You will hear William-Gargan as the roving announcer, Una O'Connor as the old woman, and Pedro de Cordova as the voice of Jesus in the greatest drama of the ages, The Living God. Yesterday we left our narrator in Jerusalem in the year 33, where he had been taken by faith through time and space in his search for the living God. At that time he described for us the trial and sentencing of Christ by Pontius Pilate. Once more, we find him in Jerusalem.
How do you do, ladies and gentlemen? Yesterday we witnessed together the condemnation of Jesus. Today we are following Jesus to Golgotha. The procession is forming. The captain of the guards is leading it on horseback. Behind him is a herald carrying the sign which will later be nailed to the cross. In 3 languages, Hebrew, Greek, and Latin, it reads, Jesus of Nazareth, the King of the Jews. Slowly, painfully, Jesus is trying to lift the cross to his left shoulder, and a little way behind, the 2 other condemned men are carrying only the crossbar. One is called
Jesmus.
Oh, my faithful and mysterious friend, you're here again. I'm going to need your help. Will you stay beside me for, well, I feel very small in the presence of this tremendous drama.
Did not Jesus say, weep not over me, but weep for yourself? Or if in the greenwood they do these things, what shall be done in the dry? I shall stay by your side and help you.
Thank you. Tell me, how is the other man called? He looks quiet and resigned to his fate.
His name is Dismas.
Jesus looks exhausted.
Oh, he hasn't eaten, drunk, or slept, you know. Since the Last Supper, he has lost a great deal of blood from his wounds.
At last, Jesus has lifted the heavy cross to his shoulder, and the procession is slowly moving on its way. That was the herald blowing his trumpet to open up the way.
Come, let us follow them. Look, over there, on her knees. His mother.
Now I seem to understand what prayer really is.
Yes, it is her first novena. The first novena.
The procession has now reached Golgotha. I'm standing on a little elevation. I can see that 3 holes have been dug in the ground. The cross of Jesus has just been thrown down near the hole in the middle, and it made a great thud. Now one of the guards is brutally pulling Jesus up on the platform, and he's sinking slowly down upon it. Has he still enough strength to be conscious of what is happening? Oh, yes, if you remember, the other day in the Garden of Olives, when his disciples were asleep, he foresaw this and all else that was to come. A reddish mist dims the pale sun and silhouettes the actors of this drama in sinister shadow. The executioners are preparing the cross. Listen to them.
We need thy measurements, King of the Jews, that thy throne may fit thee.
Jesus is dragging himself toward the cross and lies upon it. They're marking the places for the nails. Those are the wedges they're driving in. Now they're making Jesus stand up. The executioners are tearing off his garment, but Jesus remains silent. He bends down and turns away as one of his executioners brutally presses a crown of woven thorns down upon his head. Someone presents him with a cup which he starts to take to his lips and then refuses. Why is he refusing a beverage which might deaden his nerves and help him bear some of the pain he is about to endure? Well, there goes a man breathless from running. He pushes his way through the crowd and, hurrying to Jesus, gives him a piece of cloth which he accepts. The man glances at Mary through the line of soldiers, and I can see her thank him with her eyes. Jesus fastens the cloth about his hips.
He won't be cool like that.
Jesus lies down on the cross by himself. One of the executioners is taking his right hand and tying it stolidly to the crossbar, while another holds his hand open. The third is placing a big nail in the center of his hand. He's lifting the hammer and... Oh! Now they're taking the left hand. Violently, the executioner is pulling it so that it will be in line with the mark for the nail. Oh! The nailing is done, and now the executioners are getting up.
If thou be king of the Jews, save thyself!
The body of Jesus is convulsed from head to foot. His chest tries to expand to inhale some air. His head has fallen sideways. Red tears are streaming down his cheeks. Now the executioners are binding his chest and hips to the cross so that his hands won't tear when it's raised. Now they're lifting the cross and they're pushing it toward the hole. Oh, with all its weight it fell in. The shock must have been terrible. Jesus made a faint cry.
If thou be the Son of God, come down from the cross! Thou that destroyest the temple of God and in 3 days dost rebuild it, save thine own self!
A few terrified birds are circling wildly in the sky, which is getting darker and darker. On either side of Jesus, the executioners are preparing 2 other crosses for Gesmus and Dismas, while over his head they have just nailed a sign.
They shouldn't have written the King of the Jews, but that he said, I am King of the Jews. We don't want him to rule over us.
The crosses of the other 2 condemned men have been raised. They're a little lower.
Why is Jesus' cross higher than the other 2?
Did he not say that he was king?
A little way back, the executioners are fighting over Jesus' garments. Listen to them argue.
It's mine. I want the belt.
I want the coat.
Give me the sandals.
Who wants the tunic? I'll tear it up and divide the piece.
No, it would lose all its value. What cost for it? It's mine. I want it, but it's burning my hand.
Oh, my friends, it's very difficult to draw an accurate picture of all that's going on. The guards have all they can do to prevent the crowd from surging against the cross. All the soldiers are drunk. Nailed to the cross on his left, Gesmus is shouting at Jesus.
If thou be Christ, save thyself and us.
I believe Jesus is about to speak. His lips are moving.
Father, forgive them, for they know not what they do.
Gesmus, dost thou not fear God, seeing thou art under the same condemnation? And we indeed justly, for we receive the due reward of our deeds. But this man hath done no evil.
Dismas is turning to Jesus.
Lord, remember me when thou shalt come into thy kingdom.
Amen. I say to thee this day, thou shalt be with me in paradise.
The sky is darkened. A pall hangs over the earth as though the end of the world were at hand. Now, supported by John, Mary at last approaches the cross. Jesus looks tenderly at her.
Woman, behold thy son. Behold thy mother.
What an extraordinary pronouncement.
Yes. And how consoling. The tender love of Jesus for his creatures. He gives us too, like John, Mary for our mother. And we take her for our very own.
Now Jesus is suffering beyond all expression. Again he speaks.
Lama sabachthani.
What did he mean?
My God, why hast thou forsaken me?
Oh, the desolation of that cry.
I thirst.
One of the soldiers has tied a sponge to a stick that has been dipped in vinegar. He's raising it to Jesus' lips.
Stay. Let us see if Elias comes to take him down.
Jesus has raised his head. He seems transformed and, why, yes, as if contented with all that's happened.
It is consummated.
Consummated? Finished? What is finished? His voice has an extraordinary power, but hush.
Father, into thy hands I commend my spirit.
A great sigh and nothing more. His eyes have closed. His head is fallen forward. The rumbling of an earthquake is heard. Between the cross of Jesus and that of Jesmus, a large cleft appears in the earth. A centurion is raising his spear and, driven it into Jesus' side. Blood and water gush out. The voice of the centurion is heard.
That man really was the Son of God.
Nicodemus and Joseph of Arimathea have arrived with shrouds and myrrh. Joseph has placed a ladder against the cross at the foot of which Mary is kneeling. John and the others surround her. Nicodemus now speaks.
That is what they have done to him.
Standing on a ladder, Joseph, with infinite care, is taking out the nails. Mary is standing there waiting to receive the body of her son, that she may wash and somewhat restore what we have broken and covered with blood. In the immensity of her suffering, the dignity of her bearing and her calmness bear witness to the certitude of her faith. But look, Mary has turned. She's looking at me. No, not at me alone. Her gaze seems to take in all the peoples of the earth of all times and to contain a promise. What can it be?
Did not Jesus say, "The third day shall I rise again"?
Have been listening to The Living God, presented in cooperation with the National Council of Catholic Men. Heard on today's program were William-Gargan as the roving announcer, Una O'Connor as the old woman, Dennis Day as the centurion, and Pedro de Cordova as the voice of Jesus. Supporting roles were played by professional Hollywood actors and the radio players of Loyola University of Los Angeles. Special musical scoring and effects by Robert Mitchell and his St. Brendan's Boys Choir. The Living God has been adapted from the French of Sita and Suzanne Millard. This program has been produced under the direction of Martin Worth.
Another wonderful and truly hidden gem from our friend Jerry Hinges, who finds so many of these great old shows. This is the fourth part of the five-part story that aired originally on Saturday, April 4th, 1942. And on our next program, we will have the fifth chapter, the one that aired on Easter Sunday, April 5th, 1942. But this from April 4th, 1942. Thank you for tuning in to Classic Radio Theater here on your favorite station. We thank you and hope you will thank this radio station and support their advertisers. It is their kindness and courtesy that allows us to be with you each and every time we roll around right here on your favorite radio station. I would hope that you would also take a moment. If you miss a day on this station, you don't have to miss one single show. You can find all of our shows available through Spotify, through Spreaker, through iHeartRadio, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcast, or Amazon. Just search for Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. That is Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. You can also find our shows anytime at classicradio.stream, where you can stream our shows on demand. You can learn more about building a classic radio collection of your own, and you can contact me. That's at classicradio.stream. And tell all your friends the great radio shows are right here at this spot on the dial. Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox on your favorite radio station.